I didn't expect to be talking about Jamarcus Russell today. Not a word, not a name I want to.
I always welcome Jamarcus Russell talk because it's always going to be hilarious.
My buddy that I work with at the UFC's producer at the UFC, giant Charger fan, had like season tickets like the first 20 years of his life. Giant Charger.
He's the one.
And we have a rule. Yeah, he's one of the 7. We have a rule. I never bring up Ryan Leaf. He never brings up Jamarcus Russell. It's like the nuclear option, right? It's like why countries don't nuke each other because they don't want to get nuked back. That's what it is. So even Charger fans understand what it means to bring up Jamarcus Russell to the silver and black, and just what a waste of space and what a bust, like the ultimate bust, the ultimate NFL bust in the history of the sport. He doesn't feel that way. He recently did an interview with Ryan Grant, and I'm not going to play it all because who knows if they're going to like copyright us. But this is just snippets. I listened to the whole hour and a half. I'll never get that hour and a half back of my life, but this is just a few snippets of what he said. He was asked about like that the story of his coaches gave him game film on a tape, but it was blank. And so they said like, and then the next day they're like, "Hey, what'd you think of that game film?" Like any place, like, "Yeah, I liked all of them." Like acted like he watched it because they knew he was a lazy piece of shit, and he got caught. And so he was asked about that, and his response was, "Why would you play a fucking game with my life? Why would you fuck me over? You're supposed to be teaching me so we can get better, man. I never got that. LSU wouldn't have done no shit like that." Blames the coaches for the fact that an NFL quarterback, starting NFL quarterback, first rounder, doesn't watch game film.
You know, nothing would surprise me coming out of that man's mouth.
Doesn't watch game film.
There's a reason why he never played for another team, because it's not there. Talent can get you a long way.
Yeah.
And people like Josh Gordon, like Antonio Brown, like guys like that, they keep getting chances because they're talented. But when you're talented and you're just incredibly lazy and just a shit person to be around.
Yeah.
I think there was a quarterback, what was his name? Billy Joe Tolliver or something like that. Billy Joe something.
Sounds like an assassin.
He played one game for the Bills after being the backup quarterback, and then he admitted in the post game, not press conference, but like in interviews with like the local beat writers, that he didn't look at the game plan for that week.
Yeah,
and he never got another chance with another team.
Think how crazy it is that a number 1 draft pick never got a second chance. Like, think about that. Like,
there's a reason for it.
Josh Rosen,
Rosen one.
What, 10th overall?
I thought 10th, something like that.
Wasn't number 1, but he was a first rounder, high first rounder.
Yeah, first rounder.
He's been on 5 different teams, and he's a free agent right now. He will be on an NFL roster come this season at some point. He's gotten 5 chances, working on his 6th. Josh Rosen. And yet Jamarcus Russell couldn't get one team to like give him a tryout, fly him out, see if it works, because his play was so terrible, and he had the worst possible reputation you can have for an NFL quarterback. Lazy, doesn't pay attention, didn't give a shit.
Doesn't work. Look, the thing is, it's like, okay, if you play poorly, there's got to be a reason why, because you're not a bad player. Like you're not a bad player. Like you were drafted high for a reason. You were given a shot for a reason. You had to have shown something on tape. Now, if you're not performing as a professional, there's one big difference between professional sports than in college sports, even college football. You get paid a whole lot more in the pros. Because I'm not going to be stupid enough to think that Jamarcus Russell didn't get paid at LSU. Okay, so you get paid a whole hell of a lot more in the pros. So what's his motivation? He already signed his contract. He's got 31 and change coming to him no matter what. All he has to do is not slit somebody's throat, and he's going to get paid. So it's like, that's when you figure out, okay, why is he not performing? That's why a lot of these retreads just bounce around the league, because coaches are like, okay, I can get him to work. I can get him, these guys did this wrong. These guys did that wrong. And they're like, that's one of the reasons
coaches are like girls with daddy issues. Like, I can fix him.
I can fix him.
Fix him.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's my fault.
No one even gave a shot at Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, it's like
so bad.
like one of the reasons Derek Carr has been given the keys for so long with the Raiders, even though they've lost so much, is you can point to all these different factors as to why his record is what it is as a starting quarterback. So you can point to any of that with his. You start with Jamarcus Russell, his work ethic, his commitment, his overall play, his lackluster just attitude towards anything resembling hard work. He gained weight every single year he was in the league. He refused help from the Raiders wanted to get him a dietitian. They wanted to get him all this, like a freaking chef and all this shit. He didn't want to do any of that shit. He's like, I got this. Don't trip. I'm good. He's blamed a bunch of shit, like the coaches were out to get me. I had sleep apnea. That's why I was falling
all
asleep
kinds
all the
of stuff.
time. All kinds of shit.
He was asked, like, all right, are you a cautionary tale? He said, I wasn't doing crazy shit. I was just trying to relax, chill, trying to win some football games. Unfortunately, I wasn't winning, but I was dealt a bullshit hand. I'm at practice, bro, and these folks couldn't catch a reverse, bro. 6 plays straight, but you want to go downfield and catch a 90-yard pass. I was dealt a harsh hand. Motherfucker, you're the number 1 overall draft pick. You're going to the worst team in the league. That's how it works. You're supposed to carry this franchise. You're supposed to like uplift everybody, right? Like Joe Burrow, other quarterback from LSU, like he took the worst team in the world to the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, that's what you were brought on to do, was uplift these guys. And what's he do? Blaming the wide receivers, I'm just trying to chill. I'm just trying to relax. It's like, look, if he was a bust, right? He just didn't work out for whatever reason. And the Raiders were bad back then, right? For whatever reason. You can always lean back on, well, I'm a hard worker. I study hard. I'm a good teammate. Like, those are things that'll keep you in the league. When you don't have any of that, when you suck and you don't work hard, you don't have a leg to stand on in the NFL.
And it's like, okay, you understand, like you said, you're going to a position where it's going to be tough in the beginning. You could catch fire, maybe grab a couple of guys here and there that turn something around. Maybe, ball bounces your way here and there, and you maybe sneak into the playoffs or something your first year. But you're going into a position, and like, look, he held out for way too much money. Al Davis finally blinked and gave him a shit ton of money. He came in to the season. He signed his contract right after the season started, right?
He held out. And
yeah, he played zero. He had zero training camp. He had zero preseason. Nothing. He came in after, I think, the second week of the year.
6-year contract, $68 million, 31.5 guaranteed.
How much was that bonus money up front? Like, he got a big bonus up front too.
I think it was like $9 million, and the Raiders tried to recoup it, and Jamarcus countersued. And the Raiders had to pay him another $3 million of that guaranteed money.
That's crazy.
And that's the whole point. Like, I listened to the whole interview, and his whole thing was like, that's the reason you don't see him around anymore. Like, once he was in the NFL, he's like, I made it. I have that guaranteed money.
I don't have to do shit.
I'm good. I don't have to work anymore. Like, I think that was his goal. Get that lump sum, and you're done. Like, he genuinely did not care about anything else. He got his money. He's like, say la vie. I'm good.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like when I talk to people about Jamarcus Russell, and they're like, oh, how could you guys have taken him, this and that? I'm like, look, you have to understand the situation, what was going on in the Raiders at that time. It was Al Davis making a decision. You're telling me that Al Davis flew out and had all this time to talk to guys pre-draft? He looked at that freaking 70-yard pass from one knee, and he's like, that's the guy I want. The arm that he has, that's the guy I want. Now, the physical talents, you can't argue with that. The physical talents were there. At LSU, when he was playing like the whole rah-rah shit, fucking all the Bengal Tigers and all this, the Bayou Bengals and all this crap, yeah, he was trying hard and he was working hard. And once he got to the NFL, the way they gauge at the time, the way they gauge draft picks was, okay, how good of a player is this guy? They really didn't look at the character of this guy. I mean, they got freaking Lawrence Jackson from USC, and that guy was a head case too. He was the second overall pick. Goddamn. I don't want to talk about that. A lot of high bad draft picks.
SC.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
Pride of the Big Ten.
Yeah, you're gonna be. So,
but look, it's like
that's the big whiff. The big whiff wasn't the physical. Everyone wants to talk about all these interceptions. The physical wasn't the issue. It was they didn't get to know him as a person. They didn't get to know his work ethic. I don't even know if they really talked to anybody at LSU. It's just a bad pick overall.
Drinking scissor everywhere he went.
Everywhere you at the freaking at the
stadium, just coding out of his mind, just party mode constantly. And look, this is again another reminder. Like Derek Carr's been through the same shit that Jamarcus Russell's been through. Right? Terrible team for a long time. You know, first few years
downs,
real bad. Right? What did he do? Stayed the course. I want to win here. Like, and that's something that like Derek Carr thrives on, right? Like Jamarcus Russell's like, well, I want everything perfect. Like I want, you know, the best wide receivers, the best line, best coaching. Well, Derek Carr's like, no, I want to take this team. I want to say I dragged this Raiders team that was shit for a decade and a half and took them to the promised land. Jamarcus Russell's like, no, I want everything laid out for me, and I don't want to work hard, and I don't want to watch tape, and I want to be high on scissor the whole time. That's all.
It's pretty much like, look, we all know those people who just bad shit just seems to happen to them. No matter what, even when they're on the straight and narrow, just bad stuff seems to happen to them. And you would talk to them about it, and nothing is ever their fault. Oh, well, I got fired from this job because, my boss didn't like me and this and that. And I got an F in this class. Like, the teachers didn't like me. And it's like, are you that unlikable? Like, why are we friends? Like, why are you that unlikable a person, you know? And it's exhausting to be around a person like that.
And the common denominator in all those bad situations is you.
Yeah.
You got to look in the mirror because he blamed receivers. He blamed Tom Cable. Like he thought Tom Cable was out to get him. Because, that's what every head coach wants is to have a number 1 overall draft pick fail on their watch. Yeah, that's really how coaches keep their head coaching job is by pissing off their starting quarterback, number 1 overall with a $66 million contract. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's the thing, man. Like nothing is their fault. Nothing is their. And then whenever you kind of pin them down into a corner, they have nothing to say, and they just get mad, and they just answer with anger. Like when he's like, "Oh yeah, why would they do that? Why would they play games with me? This and that." Well, did you watch the tape or not? It gets all pissed off and blah blah blah. Get the fuck out of here, Jamarcus Russell. Even people in Alabama didn't. He was from Alabama. Even people from Alabama didn't like him. He went back and he got robbed a couple times, and they were just like, "You're a punk, dude."
Hey, it was stolen money. The money that he had from the Raiders. Might as well steal it back. It's hot money.
Yeah, that's like what do you call that? That karma coming back to him. He stole money. Now they steal it from him.
Congratulations for making it all the way to the end of our video. If you want Darren Waller to catch 20 touchdown passes next season and for Max Crosby to have 30 sacks, go ahead and subscribe and click the next video.